So everyone knows the famous Peter Parker and his many love interests. Gwen Stacy, Black Cat, heck, even Captain Marvel. But we all know that Mary Jane is the ultimate Spider-Man love interest. But that begs the question, what about the other Spider-Man? Miles Morales has become popular in recent years, what with Sony putting prime focus on him in their Spider-Verse movies. He's also become the star of comics, games, and main characters in TV shows. And with that comes romance. Miles has had several love interests, surprisingly, but who's the definitive one? Gwen has been a popular love interest for Miles as of late. Spider-Verse films imply it heavily, and it's even shown up in the comics. For example, in Amazing Spider-Man Volume 2, Miles Morales, from Earth 8, falls in love with an alternate dimension Gwen Stacy. The two settle on Earth 8 and have two children, Charlotte and Max Morales. Yes, the comics, a treasure trove of chaotic and seemingly random information that nobody needed to know. On Earth 1610, while attending Brooklyn Visions Academy after his mom died, Miles develops feelings for Catherine Katie Bishop. To begin dating, and Miles eventually tells her who he is. She is freaked out and refuses to speak to him for a while afterwards. Miles is eventually captured when Kate's parents reveal themselves to be Hydra agents, and once the young Ultimates rescue him, Miles breaks up with Kate. Yes, while Peter attracted Carol Danvers, Miles attracted the young Kamala Khan. Sorta. In the Spectacular Spider-Man run from 2024, people are being entranced by the Arcadium, which is a kind of VR type thing, which shows people what their hidden dreams and desires are. Peter is entranced by Gwen Stacy, and Miles is taken by Kamala Khan. So while this romance hasn't actually happened yet, it's at the very least fun to think about since they have such good chemistry. So those who haven't played the Marvel Spider-Man games might be a bit confused as to who Haley Cooper is. Haley is introduced in Marvel Spider-Man Miles Morales as a street painter in Harlem. They have a nice interaction in their cutscenes, and she even gives him a suit. I haven't played Marvel Spider-Man 2 yet, and I know stuff happens with them in there, so please, no spoilers. It's at this point that we finally reached my purpose in creating this video, Tiana Toombs. Keen-eared Spider-Man fans will recognize that last name anywhere, as it's the identity of one of Spider-Man's greatest foes, the Vulture. Tiana was the granddaughter of Adrian Toombs, and once both her parents had left her, one to death and one to being an absentee father, Adrian took her under his wing. She was gifted a Vulture suit of her own and decided to make a name for herself. She meets Miles in a confrontation with Tombstone's henchmen and commends him for his actions. The two meet again later, and after a difficult fight, Tiana reveals her identity as Starling. Miles contemplates revealing his identity too, but refuses, leaving Tiana hurt. Once she learned of her grandfather's criminal activity, she forgave Miles, and he eventually revealed his identity, sparking a relationship. Now, if you ask me who Miles' definitive love interest is, I have no clue. For simplicity's sake, though, I'll say Tiana. The two have a nice connection and are presently dating in the comics. It's important to remember that the movies aren't accurate to the comics sometimes, like how MJ isn't Michelle Jones Watson, but that's a video for another day. Now, you may be wondering why I made this video. Well, I'll tell you. It involves part 5 of my Spider-Man film proposition. When that'll be made, I don't know. It took a lot of time just to make the presentation in Google Slides. It was about 2.5 hours over 2 days. So just let me know your thoughts on Miles' love interest in the comics, and I'll see you around.